Hey everybody, it's Chris from Marketing During Tough Times. Thanks for stopping by. It is Monday. Monday is Motivation Day. And I've been doing a series of shows on the subject of grit. It was inspired by this great book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. It's a great read. You should definitely check it out if you like the stuff I'm talking about. I think you'll find her insights to grit very useful. So this is part 3. And this is the part that I actually most connected with. And it's long-term goals and endurance, follow through, things like that. Now, I've done a lot of videos on long-term planning and goals already. If you follow the show, I do those all the time. So if you check in, there's a bunch of videos below. You can see there's a whole section on planning and goals. And you should definitely check those out because that'll give you an idea of just how important I think it is and some different ideas for that. One thing I've never talked about on the show is the concept of endurance and follow through. Now, it's something that's super important to me. Some of you know that I'm a business coach or a business owner. Many of you may also know I'm a guitarist. I started out in life as a guitarist. I love playing music. I love playing the guitar. I had one challenge when I really started playing guitar, the biggest challenge I had to overcome, and that was I'm not really very talented at music. When I say not talented, I mean I'm not gifted, like it wasn't easy for me. I felt like I actually had to work harder than most people at it. Things didn't come quickly. I just had to work at things over and over again. But I actually really loved doing it, so I kind of didn't mind. It was really fun. Then one day, back in, I think it was 1980, I read an interview with Eddie Van Halen, who's one of the greatest guitarists ever. And they asked him how much he practiced. And he said, well, I play and I practice all day, every day. I don't even think about it. It's just I'm all the time. I never put it down. And so I thought, oh, that's all I need to do. You can play all day, every day, problem solved. I did gradually, over the course of time, get better. I developed really good practice habits and really good learning habits. Like I figured out how I learned. Like I figured out how could I learn this subject? How could I approach this? I then applied that to almost any situation in life. Almost everything I know about learning and endurance, I started out learning as a guitarist as a kid, and I still apply it to this day. I also developed what I call extreme patience. So I can focus on one task over and over and over and over again and do it until it's perfect. It doesn't bother me. If I can do something one time, maybe it takes me 10,000 times, it really doesn't matter. I'll just keep showing up and doing the task over and over and over again until it's perfect. Now, other people might drop out halfway through or after a few tries, and so I'm almost always in any given situation the last man standing because I simply have that endurance and I just don't give up. All right? There is a kind of a catch with this, and that's if it's not a task I love, if it's not something I'm crazy about, it's just like anything else. You don't want to do it, or you do it poorly, or you do it just to get it over with. So I think that's where I made the connection to say, hey, you know what? Endurance is closely related to passion. If you have a passion for something, if you really like doing something, you have the patience and the endurance to keep doing it. I'll give you some personal examples. I still work as a guitarist to this day. I now work in country western bands, playing country music, modern country. And in country music, there's no written music. There's no charts. There's no sheet music. Everything's done by ear and by memory. So for me, I practice without music. So I listen to records and I figure out how to play them without the aid of sheet music, just being able to hear things and figure them out in my head. I haven't missed a day of practicing like that in over 500 days. I'm also fascinated with foreign languages, so I've been working on learning to speak French. I'm doing it just for fun. It's not for a job or anything like that. I haven't missed a day of practice in over 1,100 days. I just like doing it, and I'm used to that routine of saying, okay, I'm going to practice this every day. It's time to practice French. It's time to learn your country western songs, or whatever it is. I have that long-term endurance to just follow through on that. So in business, how does this work if you own a business? I just talked about a bunch of fun stuff. Well, if you own a business or you're starting a business, you probably already have some passion, hopefully, for the product you're doing. So if you want to open up a restaurant, maybe you have a passion for food, or I'm a guitarist, I have a passion for education, so I opened up a performing arts school. Whatever it is, you have that initial passion for doing the service or doing the product. There's something about it you love. There's a connection you have to it. But what about the business side of business, right? The business side of running a business, the marketing, the management, the finance. What about that? Can you have a passion for that? Because that's really what drives the business that people really don't necessarily know they're going to have to do when they start a business. Well, for me, I connected with what I consider the creative side of business, and that's the marketing side of business. So I got into the copywriting and the advertising and the science of how does Google work and how do websites work to convert. I found that really interesting, and I found it creative, similar to the same creative feelings I get when I do music. It's the creative side of the business. So I was able to kind of channel that creativity and that passion into doing that. Because marketing isn't something you do once and you're done. It's something that's an ongoing process in the business, right? So I have that same passion, that same endurance that I have in music, I apply that to marketing. I also happen to like numbers. So I actually enjoy doing the accounting and keeping track of the numbers and working with accountants. I have accountants who report to me and financial advisors, but I'm directly involved in it and I find it interesting. How about the management side of business? I actually don't really like that side of the business, the managing a business. So I knew right away I had to hire a manager. And so I check in with her. I love her. She does a great job. But the day-to-day management and all the emails and the customer service and dealing with the staff, someone else actually does that because I don't have the passion for it. Because I don't have the passion for it, I wouldn't have the patience or the endurance to do a great job at it. All right? So for you, what should you do? So you're starting a business, maybe you've already started your business and you're trying to get things going. Number one is passion equals endurance. Find the parts of the business that you have passion for. Whether I found passion in the marketing side of things, maybe you're a people person. Maybe you want to work with the people and you'd be a great manager because that's what you want to do, and maybe you want someone else to do the finance. Whatever it is, you got to figure out what you have passion for and what you don't have passion for. Now, if you're a startup, you're doing all these things. I know because I've been a startup. You do every job, right? So when you're figuring out which jobs you don't like or that you're not good at or you don't have passion for, those are the ones you're going to replace yourself with and hire somebody else. So you're doing this job with the idea that someone else will eventually be doing it. And this is the job that someone else will do. The last thing I want to tell you is the thing I found most motivating along this line is the idea of having a winning streak. Earlier in the video I mentioned, I haven't missed a day of practice in 500 days and I haven't missed a day of practicing French in 1100 days. I keep score, and I've talked about this in some of my planning and goal videos. I find that really motivating. So I hope you liked today's video. Happy Motivation Monday, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.